study out of Yale University that is interesting, where professors were given the identical resume. One had the name John on the top, and one had the name Jennifer on top. And the male candidate was rated more favorably, and
Really?
they were offered on average $4,000 more than the female candidate.
Working and trying to get a job, it was so tough for her. Trying to be taken the same, trying to be respected the same as a man would, and there was always like that pay disparity and everything. And so it makes me worried going into the world, especially because, you know, in certain places that I go, I am treated differently because I'm a woman. And, you know, I've been really sheltered all my life, so I've never like really experienced everything as deeply as I know it says out there. So I'm so worried going onto the world and having to experience it firsthand and having to deal with it like an adult. But I do know that as I decide to choose my profession, that's what I want to tackle, especially for young Black girls.
I feel like inequality means when one person isn't getting the right equal justice or just equal fairness is another person.
When I think of gender inequality, the first thing I think about is just like allocation of social and cultural resources favoring men. But I also think of things like reproductive rights and sexual violence, rape culture, and other things like the wage gap and like harmful stereotypes in media. And I also think that gender inequality doesn't like operate on its own. I think things like race and socioeconomic status factor into the inequality somebody experiences, or the privilege, I guess.
Inequality is just a lot of shit. Basically, it's this systematic and societal thing that has been set up where it says that men and women are not equal, which is again total of bullshit. So that's what it means, and I feel like follow-up question would be like either looking at back, why does it exist, or how we'll get rid of it. In everyday life, if we watch our actions, our acts, and look at our own acts that we are doing and watch out for we not repeating or allowing gender inequality not to happen, that's how we can improve and slowly get better. It's a change that will start individually, every single individual taking action. And why it started, I don't know. People here, specifically United States, back in my country there's no shit like this, but United States is pretty fucked up. Like, it started earlier when the women couldn't go to school. They were not allowed to, and it just like kept changing forms and shapes, similar to racism. This gender inequality is like, it just kept changing, and it's still in the United States, and it's fucked up.
Recently, I didn't hear it on campus from a person. I remember like hearing someone was watching a video. We were like watching a video, and like that kind of came up. And also with I've been just little things in pop culture that we've been looking at. I've seen a lot, but nothing on campus with students.
I've not heard sexist jokes on culture, so going off culture, which has I've been here for a year. The few sexist jokes I've heard is like, one time I was trying to give my friend a jacket because he was colder than I was, And he turned back at me and he was like, "Hey, that's gay." I was like, "Oh, sure, yeah, but it's not." And why would it be a bad thing if it was a gay thing? It was just a friendship, like friend offering his friend a jacket so his friend wouldn't be cold. So that's the joke I heard, and that was a pretty shitty experience to hear that. That's gay, so what? Fuck it.
Oh, I haven't heard one recently, but one joke that I really don't like is like period jokes. Like when somebody's like, "Oh, Jesus, calm down. What are you on your period?" That shit pisses me off.
If you do not get the women on board, then the economy will suffer, productivity will suffer, competitiveness will suffer, and the economy will not grow at the desired speed.
To introduce some new legislation to close the wage gap between men and women.
Yeah, Tammy, good morning. It's going to be tabled at Queen's Park today, and this is I think, very significant because look at what this legislation would mandate. Any job posting you see in Ontario would have to include a salary rate or range. This is really going to affect how we negotiate a salary. It would bar employers from asking about your past pay. It would prohibit reprisal against employees who discuss or disclose compensation, and would require large companies to track and report compensation gaps based on gender. Province set to spend $50 million on this initiative over the next 3 years.
Are you a middle-aged man running a financial firm or a multinational conglomerate? Do you find that pushy female employees have been nagging you with unreasonable demands for equal pay? What if I told you about a revolutionary new product that lets you pay women just as much as men without sacrificing the sheer convenience of paying them less? Introducing Ladybucks, dollars for female employees that are worth just 83 cents on the dollar. Ladybucks is the new currency for women from the Federal Reserve and the creators of Playtex Gentle Glide 360. Available in a variety of colors and scents, Ladybucks feature America's most celebrated female presidents like Gina Davis, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and Battlestar Galactica's Laura Roslin, who only became president after almost all of mankind was destroyed. It's an amount that could be described as virtually the same. Really just reflective of the different choices women make. And some f***ed-up Mad Men bullshit. So why not try Ladybucks? Show the women in your workplace that they're truly 0.83 in a million. Ladybucks are not for everyone. Consult your lawyer before using Ladybucks. Use of Ladybucks may result in class action lawsuits, adverse publicity, failure to retain staff, or being kicked in the dick.